Good morning, welcome to Furry and Spoilt. Today I want to talk to you about don't be a nasty pack leader. A couple of weeks ago I put some posts up on social media talking about how I am a pack leader and things that I do to show my dogs that I'm the pack leader. And I got loads of comments, not comments but where they DM me personally, saying that I didn't know what I was talking about, I shouldn't be encouraging people to be pack leaders, being a pack leader was just nasty, and I just couldn't work it out. I thought, how on earth can showing your dog that you love him and making him feel like he's looked after and he's safe, how can that be wrong? What is so wrong about that? And with anything to do with dogs, I'm very open to different ideas and that my ideas are wrong, and I never, I always check things and I always make sure that I listen to people. So I thought, okay, well, let's ask why, let's find out why. And I think I shocked some people because some of these people have been really nasty to me, but I went back to them and I wanted to know why they thought that. I needed to know in case I was wrong and they were right. Although I was so sure they weren't. Anyway, after talking to a few of these people in depth, we all realised that what they were seeing as being a pack leader was choke chains, prong collars, being aggressive to your dog, scruffing your dog. That is how they saw being a pack leader. That's what they thought being a pack leader was. That absolutely is not what I am. That is not what being a good pack leader is. Being a good pack leader is all about behaving in a way so that your dog knows that you're looking after them and that you are going to be there to fulfill all their needs, and that they don't need to worry about where food is coming from or where water's coming from or their safety. They don't have to worry about any of that because you're the pack leader and you're doing all that. It's your job to do it as a pack leader. And I just want to make this completely clear. I am a pack leader and I show my dogs love and kindness and gentleness. And my whole mission throughout my day is to make sure that my dogs know that they are safe. They don't need to be worried about anything. I'm here, I'm looking after everything. I can keep them safe. If they bark at something at the door, I can go and check it. I can decide whether or not it's safe for them. And if I say it's okay, everything's fine, they believe me because they know that I have, and I've got, as far as they're concerned, I've got form on this for years and years. I've been keeping all of my dogs safe. So if you don't know my channel, I've got 3 dogs. The other 2 are wandering around in the garden somewhere. And they've seen over the years that I have kept them all safe. And Hump's here, he's new to me. I've only had him for 10 months. And so he's learned, I think he's about 10, 9, 10, we don't really know. But he's seen in that time that I keep dogs safe, that I provide everything for them. They've never had to go without. And that to me is what being a pack leader is. Being a pack leader where you use force of any kind, aggression, choke chains, prong collars, any of that, shout, any of that, that is not being a pack leader. That is being a dog abuser. It is being a bully. Straightforward. Nobody that uses a prong collar or a choke chain or shouts at their dog or scruffs their dog or anything like that is a pack leader. Not at all. Because if you were a good pack leader, you wouldn't have to be doing all of that stuff. Because if you were a good pack leader, your dog would behave and they would listen to you because they would trust you and they would respect you. So if you're doing all the other stuff, and I know I'm going to get all the comments about this, but let me tell you something. All the comments I will get will be from people who aren't a good pack leader. Their dogs aren't behaving and therefore they've had to resort to the choke chains, the prong collars and all the other stuff I've listed. So you watch these comment section because it's going to be very, very interesting. And I would put money on it that the people that leave the nasty comments are in fact people who are using these things because their dogs aren't walking nicely on leads, their dogs aren't respecting them. But I need to make it really clear that if you're new to dog ownership and you hear me say, or anybody say, that pack is a thing with dogs and that you need to be a pack leader, it's vitally important that you do not think it means being shouty and abusive and aggressive That is not what it is. It's about being gentle and kind and caring. I really, really want to make this point. It's so important that if you're new to this dog malarkey, that you don't get mixed up and think that what your dog wants is for you to be aggressive and shouty. That is absolutely not what your dog wants. Your dog wants you to be calm and relaxed and confident. Your dog needs to see that you're confident. And if you've had to put a prong collar on your dog, if you don't know what a prong collar is, it's basically a collar and it's got big spikes on it. And when the dog pulls, the spikes pinch into the dog's neck and the dog screams. It's awful. If you're using one of them, then you're showing your dog that you have no confidence. That's what you've had to resort to. And so you're just going to have even less respect from your dog, and the dog behaviour is just going to get even worse. So please don't get the two mixed up. Some people don't believe that dogs have a pack mentality, and I think that is something that we're just going to have to agree to disagree on. Somebody left me a message saying that I really needed to do my research, that this pack mentality was proven to not be true years ago. I live with 3 dogs, and I'm with my dogs all the time. My dogs are never left at home, mainly because one of my dogs has got learning difficulties and it wouldn't be possible for him to be left alone. So as a result, I've built a life where my dogs just come everywhere with me. So I'm with dogs 24 hours a day. So I don't know how much more research anybody wants me to do. I live with these dogs day in and day out. The 3 very different personalities, and I know without question, I see pack mentality with them. I see it every day, all the time I see it. So I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that dogs live in packs, whether that be just like mine, where we've got 3 dogs and then me and my husband and we've got tortoise. And don't underestimate the effect of other animals. Our tortoise is obviously the smallest in our whole family, and yet by far she's the one who will, if she walks up to, if one of the dogs is lying down, say out on the patio, and she wants to be in that spot in the patio, she will walk up to the dog will get up. She commands that amount of respect. She's just a little tortoise, but she's very, very confident. So your pack could be, like I said, like my pack is, could just be you and your dog. It could be you, your dog, your cat, and your cat. It could just be your dog, one dog, and you and your husband. It's still a pack. And if you have other members of your family or friends that are regularly part of their life, they will be part of their pack. And whether or not you believe that, I can't convince you of that. I can only tell you. And like I've had dogs for 25 years, and I've seen it in all kinds of breeds, German Shepherds, all sorts of breeds. And I've seen it over and over again, that I have absolutely 100% no... Oh, humps. It's a hard life, isn't it, darling? I have 100% no doubt, no question, that dogs live by a pack. Every single second of every day they live by a pack. Now, I've done a video and I go through everything that I do to show my dogs that they're okay, that I'm looking after them, everything's fine. And I will link it to the end. And I know this is a controversial subject, and I can't sway you one way or the other. It's just something you're going to have to look at, watch the video, see if you see those behaviours in your dogs and whether or not it's something that you believe in. Personally, I believe in it completely, and I personally believe that if you work by the structure of the pack, your dogs will be completely relaxed and happy. You've seen my dogs on all my videos. They're happy and they're relaxed. And even Humpty, he's come from horrific conditions. He's come from Korea, South Korea. His whole life he was used as a breeding dog. And he came to us and he just had so many behavioural problems. And don't get me wrong, he still has. He really has. And he had so many physical problems. And you can see how relaxed he is. He's very relaxed because he knows that I'm in charge and that I'm looking after everybody and that I absolutely love him. And he knows that, and he knows he can be completely relaxed. I'm sitting there with a camera in his face. He couldn't care less because he knows that I've shown him nothing but love and nurturing and caring, and that ultimately is what it is all about. I remember, I think I might have mentioned this before because it stuck with me so badly, but I don't even know. Actually, it was when little Albert was a tiny little puppy, so it was a good 10 years ago now. And I was walking him and I saw this lady and she'd rescued this Yorkshire Terrier and he was in an utter state, physically, mentally, everything, just broken. And I was talking to her and she said, it's very simple. I know exactly what I've got to do. I've just got to love him. And she said, if I just love him, we'll be okay. And I thought, that's it. That's you know, I could have given her a ton of advice because it was her first dog. I could have given her a ton of advice about how to help him. But I thought, I don't need to. She's got it. She just needs to love him. And you're not loving your dog if you're shouting at him and being aggressive with him and using aggressive methods. That is not loving your dog. That is just not loving your dog at all. So I think the other thing that plays a big part in all of this is frustration. People get very frustrated when their dog isn't doing what they want them to do. And frustration is just the worst thing you can do because you're not thinking clearly, and then you were going to resort to these measures, and your relationship with your dog is just going to go downhill. And I don't know about you, but my ultimate aim in life is that my dogs respect me and that I'm a great big comfort to them, and that they love me because they know how much I love them. If you're putting a choke chain around your dog and you're shouting and you're being abusive or you're yanking him on the lead, you're not showing your dog that you love him, and he's certainly not going to be falling in love with you. No way on this earth. And this is another thing. It's not just about choke chains and prong collars. It could just be that when you're out on the walk with him, you get really frustrated with him and you yank him on the lead. That's not nice. That's showing him. And I know, I do understand how frustrating. Don't for one second think that I don't understand how frustrating dogs can be. I do completely understand, especially adolescent dogs. I completely get it. I've been through it many, many times, and I do understand how it is. But you need to just check with yourself who's losing it here. You know, even if you're walking with someone else and you've got to hand the lead over to someone else and walk away from the situation, do it. But just be aware. And please don't think, yeah, it's all right for you though. You know, your dogs were well behaved and all that. Don't be thinking that, because they didn't all come to me well behaved. They didn't come to me well behaved at all. I've had to do that. I've had to sort that all out. And also, yeah, I mean, I'm not judging. I am, well, don't get me wrong. If you're a dog abuser, I am judging you. I'm heavily judging you. Massively judging you. But if you're just a dog owner and you lost it a little bit with your dog, I'm not judging you. Get yourself back on track. Let your dog know that you love them. But please remember, being a pack leader... Harry's behind me. Harry is always the one behind me. What would you like, darling? Just hold on a second. I'm just coming. Let me just finish this video. Let me just finish it. Being a pack leader is not being abusive to your dog. So, as always, thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.